and they're to do with the classroom. It's quite a sort of a closed, doughy activity. The verbs themselves, tie, fold, spread, open, speak, and close, not particularly sophisticated, so quite early on. All good? Everybody comfortable with that? Speak a word, whisper a word. Word. Does everyone know what the difference between speaking and whispering is? What? It's not different volume. You can speak, you can whisper loudly, and you can speak softly. Nothing to do with volume.
Is it to do with the amount of breath you're using?
Not the amount of breath. No, not to do. Just to do with vocal cords. You have an option to send air straight out your mouth, which you do all the time, called breathing. You can shape that air if you want to. I'm not using my vocal cords at all. I could put my hand here, and then suddenly by talking I'm vibrating my vocal cords, and you can hear that I'm now speaking. Speaking means changing the air so that it goes through these sorts of folds like this, and that causes the vibration that you recognise as speaking. But if I whisper, I just don't go. And then whispering, I can't speak high or low. I can't speak high. No. It's the same. I don't have any control over pitch. Yeah? But if I'm using my vocal cords, I can really stretch it out. Don't give me a hard voice. Or I can really relax and really relax. So you need to understand speaking whispering. Can you just see each card is a story? There is a story. There's a 15-minute story for you to do on every single card. Every single card. What is the card? Closing and locking the door. A lock. Do you guys know the history of keys? It is so cool how we ended up with keys. Just think about how you end up with a key. Because normally I can lock a door on the inside just by putting a bar against it. But I want to lock a door, means I can unlock it from the outside. It means I'm going to leave my house, which means when locks were invented, it was the first time that people would leave their castles or their spaces unattended with nobody on the inside. This was massive. This is massive, that you can leave something and keep it safe from everybody else. Think about how that changed. Up until then, everything you had to stay there before a lock was invented. It's brilliant. Guys, please open your minds to B. What am I expecting to see at the beginning and the end of these words? Sentences, full stop. Touch the velvet, feel the velvet. Just imagine this is velvet for a minute. Can you touch it? Can you feel it? Quite different. Do you see the difference? Please touch your own velvety arm. Go, touch, and feel. Feel that nuance? The nuance is what gets really exciting in these cards, and if you didn't do it, you would miss it. You would absolutely miss it, so you need to act them out. Touch and feel. Touch uses which sense? Of the 8. Tactile. Feel uses which sense? Do it again, different. Do it again. Which changes?
You're still using tactile, but you're actually thinking about it?
Could be, yes. Yeah, it's pressure.
Oh, yeah.
We all increase the pressure. We wanted to find out more about this fabric by increasing our pressure. We used baric and tactile. Tactile and baric and tactile. Cool. Let's find out more about that. All right, this is a lovely one. Toss the ball to me. And now, will you throw the ball? Oh, interesting. Did you see what she did? What was different? Let's do it again. Toss, over there. Toss, went up. And what else? Let's see, throw. Let's see, throw. Over. You probably never thought about that before. But toss, under, throw, over. We've got a whole lot of cultural references that'll come through. Obviously, in terms of cricket in Australia would be one. There's a very, very famous New Zealand story about a cricket game. And you see, here's another story that just comes in. Can you see that? It just comes so much more alive. I'll quickly say it. The end of the game was an important game of cricket. I know zero about any of these sports, but this particular one hit the news. It was so important. because apparently in cricket you have to hit the ball a long way in order to get lots of points. Something. But if you're given a slow throw or a low throw, it's really hard to hit it a long way. One team, the New Zealand team, I think, needed...
New Zealand was batting.
Go for it.
Yeah, so New Zealand was batting, and it was the last ball of the match, and they only needed 1 run to win. Or was it 1, or it was a few runs to win? So that if they had hit the 4 or got a 6, they would have won. But then the Australian bowler walked up to and then bowled the ball along the floor and rolled it, so they couldn't actually hit it. And so New Zealand lost. But it was actually against the rules at that time. But now, since that happened, they've changed the rules of cricket to make it so that you're not allowed to roll the ball along the floor.
Oh.
When he did it underarm.
Underarm, yeah.
They roll along the floor towards the batsman.
So can you see how this card opens up so much? What you mustn't do is close off any aspect of self when telling these stories. Everything needs to come in. What's the next one? Can you raise your hands, please? Everybody raise your hands. Yes, and lower your hands. Now, what is the difference between raising and lowering?
Muscles.
What's that, sorry? Tell me about the muscles, adductors and abductors. Let's go there. Let's do it.
This one contracts.
Yep. So it contracts. And what happens when we go down?
This one contracts.
It squeezes together. It gets shorter, which brings it down. And this one gets shorter, bringing it up. All right? Cool. So you've got a whole lot of material there. It's only 6 words, but a whole lot of physiology is going to come out of that. Let's make a muscle. Let's put 2 cardboard rolls together. Let's put some wool from the top of one. Let's see what happens when I pull this one, when I pull this one. Let's develop the idea and understanding kinesiology. Yeah? Yeah? Everyone please draw a circle. Everyone please fill a circle. Yeah? Draw and fill a circle are quite different, okay? To draw a circle means to draw the approximate shape of a circle, but we know that you can't have a real circle. All circles are just images or understanding of circle. Everybody show your right hand. And hide your right hand. What does hide mean?
Out of sight?
Out of sight. Does it have to be under something, or is it just, is that hidden, or is that hidden? Where's hidden? Not seen. So is that hidden?
For some people.
Yeah, so it's a little bit relative and da-da-da-da-da. You guys got it, okay? Write a short word, erase a short word. No problems. And you know how to do this. But please don't let the child rattle through these.
I did notice when I was going through those that some of the sentences don't have all the words that they need to make up the actual sentence in the box. Like some of the articles are missing and some of the...
In which case, remember you only need one A, for example.
Oh, some of the boxes have none.
Okay, in which case they just need to check. If you come across that, please correct them. I think you found a word you'd missed, and then you need to...
Better. Yeah, we did.
Yep.
What were you going to say? Don't let the children...
Don't ever let the children.
What? That's true.
Oh, sorry.
Just don't let them. Please, whatever you do, don't let the children. So you actually need an object to my verb. I'm saying let the children, and you want to say let the children what? What comes next? You needed a what comes next. And when we come to it, and we'll come to it in a few minutes, that's the transitive verb needing a direct object. It'll make sense in a few minutes, okay? So you needed to think my sentence was incomplete. And the laughter came because I said, yes, don't let the children. And everyone thought, this is funny because he's missed out his direct object. You didn't know why it was funny, but it's hilarious. All right. Nishima, will you bring a chair to me, please? Bring a chair. Good. Now take it back. Now will you drag a chair? What was different?
Drag is behind it.
So something, okay. Behind. What would it be in front?
Push.
Push. Okay. What would pull? Could you pull a chair? And now could you drag it? Something a little bit more casual, one arm, don't really care, whatever. Is there an emotion behind drag that is not there with pull, I wonder? Have a think. Which one would you use in which situations? When do you drag and when do you pull?
Drag tends to be heavy.
You got it. So this experience helps us to really unpack language in a fun, emotive way. Unlace a shoe and lace a shoe. Raise your head and lower your head. Now, can you raise your head and lower your head? And raise your arm and lower your arm. What's different?
With the head, it's just tilting on an axis.
Ah, so it's not really raising it at all. You didn't change the altitude of your head. Did you?
It just sounds funny.
When you were saying it, yeah, I could just.
That's raising. Now we're going to raise our head quite differently because everyone's just thinking we're tilting our head actually, not raising. We want to explore this as much as we can with the children. Is it okay to challenge their understanding of the world?
Yeah.
Isn't that the point? Fill a glass, empty a glass. This is rather lovely and introduces a thing called systems theory. All right, I'm going to talk you through it because I think it's magical and I think we totally forget. There's me, I'm an agent. I have a glass of water and I turn the tap on and then I choose to turn it off, correct? Wrong. What tells me when to turn it off?
When it gets
The
full.
water. And in fact, the water itself is saying, no, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Actually start doing it now. Now turn it off now. And in fact, there's a feedback loop. So that I am in it's called a structural coupling with this water. I think I'm doing something and I'll do it whenever I want to. But actually, the water is telling me exactly what to do and when. It tells me how fast I have to turn the water on. There's so much more information in that feedback loop. So filling a glass is not just me operating on the environment, because the environment is operating on me. The cornerstone to systems thinking and chaos theory and a rather lovely understanding of the universe, that we don't operate in one direction. Everything is a feedback loop. And now you've got systems. Whoa. Can you please arrange these cards? I'm just going to pick on Nishima because she's just there. Yeah, arrange these cards.
You're staying with them up this way?
Yeah. Can you mix the cards? What's the difference? Arrange and mix. Arrange means what? Some sort of order, although she put them in a circle, wasn't necessarily. There was a pattern there. There was a predetermined space. But what does mix do?
Randomise.
Yes. Would it be okay to leave things how they were and say now they're mixed?
Maybe.
That originally we mixed.
You wouldn't be mixing
from the
the
original
objects,
command.
but if they were, if you didn't know what was on the cards, no matter which order you put them in,
Yeah.
they would always be mixed because you have no idea what's on them.
Yeah.
But if you need to mix the cards, then you actually have to physically.
So arranging and mixing are sort of related. They're not opposites, obviously, because we don't have opposites. But there's a tendency to think about arrangement means increasing order, and mixing is increasing disorder. Now, in terms of the universe, we have this rather lovely concept called entropy. Entropy is the way that the universe always moves to disorder. Always. The most comfortable way the universe likes to operate is go from order down to disorder. And you can have negentropic forces. A negentropic force is something that increases order. Does anyone know any negentropic people? I.e., wherever they go, they bring order and they tidy things. And
It's like OCD. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
So, the opposite of entropic, remember entropy is the tendency of the universe to chaos, is negentropy or syntropy. Syntropy is a synonym for negentropy, okay? Negentropy being negative, entropy, increasing order. Life is one of the only syntropic forces in the universe. And in my thesis, I argued that life and love is a syntropic force, i.e. it brings more order. Oh no, you have to think about that. That's what my master's thesis is on. Is life different to love, first of all? Or have they got the same root? Life, love. Oh. Life, love. Maybe they are the same. Cool. You've got the book. Have a look. Right.